Hey everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games here again. Back with some more Earthborne Rangers. Today I am going to be starting day 6. So day 5 ended with me rescuing the citizens of Golden Shore and, what was the other one? White Sky, from the flood that's happened. But in the aftermath of the flooding, we found some dead bodies of creatures that nobody's ever seen or heard of before. And so we've got ourselves a big old mystery here in the valley. So I have been tasked to go journey to Spire to inform the elders of this. So let's take a look at my campaign sheet here. So we're going to be starting day 6. So it looks like at the start of it, I have to read entry 94.2. All right, so 94.2. All your muscles, even the ones you didn't know you had, seem to be aching as you nibble on a handful of dried sunberries. But the word is already coming in. The floodwaters are starting to recede. Thanks to your efforts, the damage was minimal. Each ranger gains 1 energy of an aspect of their choice for the first round. And let me get my energies back here. I'm gonna give myself awareness. Oh, that token went off on its own. All right, for each location. Right. You follow the man to a... so this is just... So this was the entry if I would read if I hadn't completed it already. This is the entry where it just says that I find some corpses, strange corpses here that nobody's ever seen before. So we have to go to the Spire to go talk with Elder Orlin to try to figure out what's going on. All right, so we've done that. So looking at it, we're still in our downpour. So we've got the downpour weather set up. We ended the day yesterday at Atrox Mountain. So we're going there. We still have the lure mission to try to lure out Quiet, and then we've got Journey to Spire there. So real quick, taking a look at the map. All right, so we ended our day here at Atrox Mountain, and we have to go down to Spire. So we're going to have to travel from Atrox Mountain, which is right here, to Lone Tree to Boulderfield, Boulderfield to Kobo's Market over to Spire. So I got a lot of journeying to do. Or I could go over to Ancestors Grove and down. Maybe I'll do that. Haven't been back to Ancestors Grove since the prologue. But, first things first, we got to do our arrival setup since we're starting a new day at Atrox Mountain. During your training, Calypso would jokingly threaten to send you on a patrol of Atrox Mountain whenever she needed to provide you with some extra encouragement. Now struggling up the side of the mountain, you can see why. The paths around Atrox Mountain are a maze of narrow trails weaving between rockfalls and slopes of unstable scree, and you know that lurking around the trail, there may be an Atrox waiting to pounce. Right. Lead Ranger, search the path deck for the next obstacle and put it into play. Looks like that is Overgrown Thicket. Was the top card. Overgrown Thicket goes along the way. 1 presence. It is an obstacle, feature, and flora traded. 3 harm threshold, 3 progress threshold, and you can take an awareness and exploration test to hunt for a way through the dense foliage to add 1 progress to this feature or to add progress to this feature equal to your effort. And then on a blue mountain challenge effect, it's discard 1 progress from this feature, and it fatigues you. Alright, so we've got that along the way. And I need to draw my opening hand of 6. Bold, bold. Paratraps this whistle, walk with me, homeward bound, and my vaulting rod. Vaulting rod is interesting because I can just avoid, I can just ignore an obstacle. Or I can exhaust it so that I can travel. But I don't think I'm going to. So I'm going to hold on to 1 bold, and then I'm going to pitch the rest and draw 5 more. So versatile, Riri, my photoscopic headset, insightful, and 1 more is homeward bound. Ooh. No scouting goggles, none of my gear, and no Uru. It's going to be weird. I normally have Uru to start most of my games, so. All right. Well, let's start us out here. All right, we are going to spend 2 awareness to get Riri out. And we are going to spend 3 fitness to try to clear out this overgrown thicket. So I am a 3 versus 1 on my traverse test. That is a 0, so I succeed. I get 3 progress on there, which is enough to clear it. And now red challenge effects, nothing in the weather, nope. And I don't have anything that does anything, so. You know, we're going to spend my 1 focus to get my headset out. Then we are going to spend my 1 extra awareness, and I'm going to use Insightful on it to do Riri's test, awareness, and knowledge, to survey the way ahead, to scout path decks equal to your effort, then draw 1 path card. I'm going to exhaust my photoscopic headset, so I'm a 2 versus a 1. -1, so I succeed with an effort of 1, so I get to scout 1, but my headset says I get to scout a second one instead. So we get 2, 1, 2. Sil Balai, Artist, and a Sitka Buck. You know what? We're going to put Sil on top and then Sitka Buck on bottom. Yeah. And then we draw 1. And it is the artist. So, Sil Belai, artist, is a being, human villager, presence of 1, friendly, and has a... I'm going to do some here real quick in a second, but has a test, spirit plus knowledge, against a threshold of 2, to pose heroically, to add 4 progress to this being. If you fail, suffer 1 fatigue as you pull something. If you clear her, comes in reading 82. If you clear her, read 82. Harm threshold of 4. Progress threshold of 3 per ranger. All right, and I was actually going to fatigue myself 1 to bring Insightful back to my hand because I have a whopping 2 knowledge cards in my hand. So I kind of want to keep those icons around if I can. All right. And the journey mission doesn't necessarily seem to have a timer on it. I don't want to dilly-dally on it, but it's not one of those things where I have to get done today. So if I take a little longer because I'm fatiguing, so be it. All right, so I have to read 82. As you follow the path, you see a woman perched on a rock a few meters above the trail. She sees you at the same time and waves. "Hello," she calls out. You ask her what she's doing, and she gestures to her easel. I'm trying to paint as much of the valley as I can. This view is beautiful, but I could use a person in it to help with scale. Do you think you could stand right there? Now try to look adventurous. So we are trying to clear Syl with progress. All right, so we are going to spend my 2 spirit and my insightful that I pulled back to my hand. So 3 versus 2 plus 1. All right, so that is, I succeed with a 4. And you know what? I'm going to fatigue myself again to pull insightful back to my hand. So that means I get 4 progress on her, which means I clear her with progress. And done. I love your cloak. Such a nice color. She takes a step back and appraises her work. You know, I can't help but think that you would look even more heroic if you were posed on a mountain with a sweeping view of the valley behind you. I don't suppose you'd be willing to accompany me to the top of a mountain and pose for me there. What do you think? That sounds fun. Remove all progress and attach Helping Hand mission to Syl, or discard Syl, and each ranger soothes to fatigue. I'm at a mountain location, so yeah, I will accept. So let me go find that Helping Hand mission, because I'm already at a mountain, and I think all I have to do is clear her again while at a mountain, so. All right, so we've got the Helping Hand mission attached to Syl. All right, my turn is done. Yeah, I suppose Riri could damage Syl, but there's no point in that. I don't have any other energy to do any other tests, so we are going to rest. I don't have progress to be able to move, so we are just going to ready ourselves up, put our energy back, draw a card, which is Homeward Bound. And now we're going to draw a path deck. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to do that. So technically, Homeward Bound is still at the top of my deck. I have to remove a wet rain token and fatigue myself 1. All right, now our card is another phonoscopic headset. And now we will draw a path card, which is our Sitka Buck, which we talked about earlier. All right. So let's see if we can just get Syl Balai taken care of. So I am going to commit 2 and the Insightful again. So I'm a 3 versus 2. Oh, gotta shuffle that up. One of these days in the valley, I'm going to remember to shuffle this challenge deck before I go reach for the next challenge card. But clearly, this challenge is not that day. -1. So I was a 3 versus 2, so -1 is a 2 versus 2. So I succeed, so I get to add 4 progress to this being. Just debating, do I want to... yeah. I'm going to fatigue myself again to bring Insightful back to my hand, and now I cleared Syl. All right, if Helping Hand is attached to Syl and you are at a mountain location, read 82.13, and Aatrox Mountain is clearly a mountain. With a triumphant flourish, Syl adds a final stroke, looks at her canvas, and then back at the scene. She thinks for a moment, then leans back with a deep and satisfied sigh. I love it. She looks at you. Thank you so much. Oh, she exclaims and rummages around in her rucksack. I want you to have something. She pulls out a well-used sketchbook and hands it to you. Drawings of flora and fauna from all over the valley from when I was just starting out. There are a few blank pages left. I think you should be the one to fill them. See you next masterpiece. She winks at you, then begins to pack away her supplies. Gain the Sill sketchbook reward card. Write witnessed a masterpiece in the campaign tracker. And discard Sill and return a helping hand to the collection. All right. We got a few things to do here. So, Sill is discarded. Helping hand back in the collection. Let's go find the reward card. I cannot, again, as a reminder, I cannot add it to my deck now. I have to actually camp for the night to add it to my hand. All right, so looking at Sill's sketchbook, it is a 1 awareness cost gear and takes up 2 gear slots. And it comes in with 2 sketches. You can see it's got 3 icons, 2 connect and 1 knowledge. It says exhaust and use X sketches. Exhaust a path card with presence X. Okay, seems good. And then awareness plus knowledge to sketch X. To sketch your subject, to choose a path card and add X sketches to this book where X is equal to that card's presence. So awareness plus knowledge against that presence, and then I get to add sketches to this book. And since it's saying adding and not replenishing, I believe I get to go over that 2 threshold if it ever comes up. So again, so this is sitting in my reward deck, but I can't do anything with it until I camp. All right, so that was my turn. So what I am going to do here, I am going to now try to red challenge effect, nothing. If there's an active sick Godot, no. All right. So I am going to try to traverse my location. I'm going to spend 3 fitness. I'm going to spend a bold to be a 5. I'm exhausting my roll, so I get to avoid a card. That will be the sick buck. So I'm a 5 versus a 2. Plus 1. So I succeed, and with 6. All right. These go away. And now, though, we get the Sun Challenge effect, which is remove a rain, fatigue myself. And then on the buck, it says, if there's another active Sitka buck, there is not. Okay, so that is that, but I do have to shuffle. I remembered this time. And it'll be back to me. While I'm shuffling, Riri is going to... The buck's getting a little too close to me, so Riri's going to go give it a good reminder not to get too close to me. So I have enough to travel now, but I think I want to at least get this prey taken care of because the prey can go under lure. I'm still desperately trying to clear that lure mission. It's not being wonderful to me. All right. You know, I'm going to use my 1 focus. I'm just going to go 1-on-1 to remember my training. So I'm going to try to scout my ranger deck, and I'm going to exhaust the photoscopic headset. So I'm a 1 versus 1, 0. So I succeed. So I get to scout 2 cards and draw 1. Another Riri and an Insightful. Okay, Riri is definitely going on the bottom. You know what? I'll keep insightful on top, and I will draw it. Those I've got both my insightful, so those are the only two knowledge icons I have in my deck. All right, challenge effects. No red crest. If there's an active doe, there is not. So there is not a lot I can do. I don't really want to scout and draw another path card. So I think we're just gonna... I don't have anything to pay for with awareness, so I think I'm just gonna rest for the day. And I'm gonna choose not to travel. So we're gonna ready everything up. Cards. I get a walk with me. Ooh, that would have been nice for last turn. And let's draw a path card. We get, oh, the Caustic Mulcher. All right, well, I guess maybe I should have tried to scout just so I could have gotten that on the bottom. All right, so Caustic Mulcher is a biomeld being. It starts in the along the way area. It has a presence value of 3, a harm value of 6, a connect value of 9. And it says beings attached to this being do not ready. And it says if a ranger token is on this biomeld, you cannot travel, and tokens on this biomeld cannot be moved except by this test. The test is a fit plus conflict threshold against a test of 2 to wrest them free of the mulcher's grasp to exhaust this biomeld. Then remove a ranger token or unattached being from it. If you unattached a being, place it in the same area as this biomeld. And it has both the yellow sun and the red crest. Challenge effects. The yellow sun is if there is another active being, exhaust it and attach it to this biomeld. If not, move your ranger token there. And the red crest is add 1 harm to each being attached to this biomeld. Each ranger with their token on it suffers 1 injury. That is not great. That's going to take a nut. And I don't... So Riri can't do any harm on it right now because it is along the way and Riri is within reach and I don't have a way to move Riri. Riri is going... Or the mulcher, every time sun shows up, is going to grab a being. So like the buck first. Then would grab Riri. Then would grab me. Try to get rid of this buck. Next, so my turn, I'm gonna ping a damage onto it. Let's see, I may just stick around and just let Riri take it out, and then that goes to lure, and then I will leave next turn and just and this isn't an obstacle, so I don't have to, this isn't an obstacle, so I can leave while it's there. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to take a test because I'm going to grab that buck and put it under there. So, because if I take a test, if it's a yellow, then the buck goes underneath there and then, you know, I'm kind of hosed. So, as weird as this is, I am going to just end my turn. I've done nothing but have Riri go after the buck. This way I'm not risking a challenge effect. We'll see if this helps me. All right, so I'm ending my turn. I am not traveling yet, so I ready everything up. Draw a card, which is Eagle Eye. That's very nice. And then we draw a path card, which is a Prowling Woolhound. Comes within reach. There's a Predator with a presence of 2. All right, so my turn. Riri is going to come down and attack the buck again. I think this is the first time I've actually taken something besides those muckets that I was just ripping open to soothe fatigue. This is the first time I think I've taken anything out due to harm. So the Sitka buck leaves play, and so it goes with lure. So I have a presence of 1 to go there. And this isn't prey, so that won't do any good for me for the lure. So we're going to end my turn, and I'm going to choose to travel. I am up here at Atrox Mountain, so I'm going to travel down to Lone Tree Station. So I'm going to pause for a moment to get out Lone Tree Station. Right, we have arrived at Lone Tree Station via the mountain pass. Visible for miles around, Lone Tree is a single enormous giga redwood rising out of the thick grass of a high prairie. From far away, the tree is all you can see. But as you come closer, you can see the rest of the station, the large box garden plots hanging from the branches, the airship Swift moored to its dock in the tree's crown, the doors and windows carved into the trunk and peeking out from among the roots. Lone Tree Station has been the base of operations for the Rangers ever since the people came to the valley. And ever since you became a Ranger, it's been your home. So 1 presence, 3 per Ranger progress on it, and awareness plus connect to search beneath the comforting shade of the Giga Redwood. To scout path cards equal to your effort, and then draw 1 card. We read the setup and search the path deck and for the next predator and discard it, and then we draw 1 path card. So next predator is, nope, that's prey. That's prey. Prey. Human being, a feature. 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 Being. Feature. Predator. Pouncing Atrox. Right, now, all that prey there right at the top, that would have been delightful. All right, now we draw 1. It is the Hanging Gardens. So Hanging Gardens is a feature. It comes in within reach, presence of 1, and 4 harm threshold and 4 connect threshold. Awareness plus knowledge to eat the abundant fruits to add 1 harm to this feature, soothe free fatigue, and heal 1 injury. And then a mountain effect if there's an active human, which I don't think I count as 1. Exhaust them and add progress to them and harm to this feature equal to that being's presence. But first, I need to read 43. 5 meters above the ground, you step out of the doorway leading to the trunk of Lone Tree and onto the wildly swinging catwalk of boards and rope. You keep a firm grip as you make your way towards the massive boxes, each as large as a flatboat and overflowing with plants that hang from the tree's thick branches. As the wind shifts, you catch the heady aroma of blooming flowers and ripe vegetables. All right. And so that was all the travel setups. So now we do a refresh. I draw a card. Oru. Beautiful. Right. And now we draw another path card. It is a fresh Sitka carcass. So that goes along the way, has a 3 presence, a harm value of 3, a progress threshold, putting my ranger token there, awareness plus connect against a threshold of 2 to watch for opportunistic carnivores to move your ranger token to this feature. All right, this is a presence of 3, and it is a prey. It is a feature and prey. So I get to add that to my lure if I clear that. So that is, I think, priority 1 here. All right, so what we are going to do is we are going to, oh no, it's awareness. So awareness plus connect. I'm going to do a versatile. And then I think a homeward bound. And I'm going to exhaust my roll to avoid that card. So that is a 4 versus 2. So that way I'm guaranteed to get this. And it is a 0, 4 versus 4. I succeed. My ranger token comes on here. And now I cleared it because all the ranger tokens are on here. It's cleared. Because it's prey, it goes aside to go with lure, and my token comes back. All right, challenge effects. Yellow sun. So we're down to 1 rain, and I fatigue another one. Oof. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fatigue on there. Ouch. All right, well, we're going to go 1, 2 to play Uru. I realize I waffle between calling him Oru and Uru all the time, so. I don't really want to fatigue. I want to be able to actually do this test so I can soothe some of this, but I don't have awareness to be able to do the test. Can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pet my dog. I'm going to go a 3, so fit plus connect icons to pet your canine companion to ready this being and soothe 1 fatigue. So since I am not going to try to traverse right now because I don't want any more fatigue there, I'm going to go 3 versus 1. I succeed, so I soothe 1 fatigue, which is my HydroLens goggles. Nice. And I ready Oru, but that doesn't matter. And then blue challenge effects, nothing here. If there's an active human, there is not. So that is that. Nothing to do with my... I don't want to burn through my deck more, because if I do, I just need 1 more prey, and then I can do... And then when I move, I can trigger lure. So I don't want to burn through my deck anymore, because that's how much time I have. Can't play my goggles. Can't play Eagle Eye. Can't play Walk With Me. These are just icons. I'm not sure if I can have 2 copies of photoscopic headset out at once. I'm going to assume not. I'm assuming all gear is unique, but I could be wrong. So yeah, I guess I am going to end my turn. Yep. So I can't move. So we ready everything up. Ready myself. Draw a card. Paratrepsis Whistle. And now we draw a path card, which is Topside Mass. Oh, that could be interesting. So comes in along the way. It's got a presence of 0, so it's not going to fatigue me. I can go past it. Let's see here. 6 harm threshold, and progress threshold is just getting the ranger token to it. And it says if the weather is inclement, you cannot interact with this feature. Is weather inclement? Yes, it is. Downpour is inclement weather, so I can't do that while it's on downpour. When it flips over to gathering storm, I could try it. So what is it? It's a focus and a connect test against a threshold of 3 to convince the Swift's crew the urgency of your mission to move your ranger token to this feature. All right, let us read the entry for Topside Mass. High atop Lone Tree Station, you'll find a series of circular platforms of polished wood and forged carbon. During your training, on clear, windless days, these platforms serve as a refuge. You would often spend your free time in the afternoon bathing there in the sun, sitting in quiet contemplation, and looking out over the mirrored surface of White Sky Lake. You'd also look wistfully at the airship known as the Swift, its hull gleaming in the sun, as Ben Amon would climb aboard and launch it into the air. The legs of the vehicle would compress and then extend with a sudden movement, propelling it upward with tremendous force. Then, once it's reached its apex, its wings would unfurl and the glider would soundlessly soar towards the horizon, steadily descending as it flew towards its destination. Calypsa told you and the other initiates that it was prone to roll and crash in inclement weather, and if you flew at any great distance, its energy cell would drain and the Swift would grow inert, unable to launch for days before the cells recharged. All this was clearly meant to dissuade you from taking the Swift out on your own, but when you look at the airship, you can't help but feel a surge of excitement. To soar high above the valley would surely be exhilarating, if not a little terrifying. Now that you're a full-fledged ranger, perhaps you can convince the crew to take you for a ride. All right, so we've got that to try once the weather changes. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here, I am going to, I'm going to do this awareness plus knowledge test. I'm going to just do 2 versus 1 on this. I'm not going to commit any icons. -1, so I do succeed. So I get to add 1 harm to this. Soothe 3 fatigue, so the top 3 cards. So that is versatile, persuasive, and homeward bound. And heal 1 injury. Well, I am not injured, so I currently have 3, 6, 9, 10 cards in my hand. Nice. All right, but it is a yellow sun effect, so I do fatigue 1. And now we are no longer inclement weather. We are now the Gathering Storm for a couple of turns. Sorry about that, folks. Had to take a quick break. My game room is right below the dining room, and my family was getting something to eat and dragging chairs across the floor, and it got fairly noisy, which you may or may not have heard on the microphone. All right, so I believe the last thing I did, it's been a few minutes, is I took care of the hanging garden. So now, what do I want to do? Do I want to try? All right, so I think if I remember correctly, I think if I go there, I might be able to get something, but let me take a look at the map real quick. I want to take a look at something. Ancestors. So I am at Lone Tree. I need to get down to the Spire. So do I care about topside mast? Sure, let's give it a try. So that is a focus. Well, let me see here. So I would have 1. I've got a bunch of icons, but I don't know if I want to commit them all to it. So I could be like 3 versus 3, I think. That's a spicy test, but we'll try it. All right, so 1 focus and 2 connect icon. So I'm a 3 versus 3. Try to do this. I will exhaust my roll card to avoid the hanging garden. -1, I fail. All right, well, nothing untoward happens to me if I fail. I just lost those cards. Right, Yellow Challenge Sun effect. Since Growing Storm is there, nothing on my missions, and nothing here. So, I don't think there's anything else I can really do. You know, we're gonna pet our dog again. 3 versus 1. +1, so I succeed. So I get to heal 1 fatigue, which is a healing touch. Perfect. And now Red Crest Challenge Effect. Nothing. Missions. If there are 2 or more active predators, there are not. Nothing and nothing. There's really nothing I can do with those 2 spirit icons. I can't really connect because there's no beings out here. So I guess we're just ending our turn. Oof. All right, so I don't have enough progress to move there. So we're just going to ready up. Rebuild our energy, draw a card, which is another Paratrepsis Whistle. And then we are drawing a path card, which is a Shale Scree. Ooh. So this is a obstacle along the way. Is a feature. 2 presence threshold, 6 a 6 progress threshold on it, and it says awareness plus, it has a test, awareness plus exploration against a threshold of 2 to scramble up the slopes of the shifting rock to add 3 progress to this feature for every 2 effort. If you fail, resolve its Blue Mountain Challenge effect, which is move this card within reach. It fatigues you. Move each being that is within reach to another area. If this feature is within reach, shuffle it into the path deck and suffer 1 injury. That is the Red Crest Challenge effect. Oof. All right. So that's a thing that happened. Definitely don't like that at all. All right. So we have got to deal with that. Before I do anything, I'm going to spend 1 awareness to Eagle Eye with photoscopic headset. So we are going to scout the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fractal Wire, Circling Irex, Cordo, and High Pimpot. Let's see. Both Fractal Wire and Circling Irex are going to go on the bottom of the deck. I'm just debating on whether I want Cordo or High Pimpot. No, I'm going to put them all on the bottom and just draw a blind. Let's see if this comes back to bite me. We are getting an Agitated Meadowlark. It is a being, a prey, and avian. It has a 1 presence. It has a 1 harm threshold, a 3 connect or progress threshold, and spirit plus connect to listen to the Meadowlark song of warning. To move your ranger token to this being, excuse me, then response, before a being moves or enters within reach, you may remove your ranger token from this prey to exhaust that being. All right. All right, so that is, good thing is, that is prey. So we are going to try to connect to it. 2 spirit. Just a plain old-fashioned connect test to it. So 2 versus 1. Oh, I got to reshuffle. Forgot again. Zero. So I succeed. So with a progress of 2. Right, yellow challenge sun effect. Nothing, nothing, nothing in the missions. Nothing, nothing, nothing here. Perfect. Now Uru is going to move that Meadowlark along the way, which adds 2 progress to it, which means it matches its threshold. So we now have 5 prey. All right, so if I can manage to get out of here, I can then pull out quiet. So that is okay. Man, I don't want to keep fatiguing myself. All right, we're going to try to traverse the Shale Scree. I'm exhausting my roll to dodge that. I am going to commit my other photoscopic headset. So I am a 4 versus 2. +1. Very nice. 4 versus 2. So that is 5 versus 2, so I pass. And I get 5 progress on here. Unfortunately, not quite enough to clear it out. All right, Yellow Sun Challenge Effect. Nothing in play with that right now. I think I'm going to spend 1 to get my Paratrepsis Whistle out. And then we are going to do the Hanging Garden test. So 1 awareness, and I will commit an Insightful. So I am a 2 versus 1. -1, I succeed. So I get to add a harm. Soothe 3 fatigue. There's only 2 cards in my deck. Goggles and Uru. And I get to heal an injury, but I don't have any. Okay, so red challenge effect. Nothing here. 2 active predators. There are not. Uh-oh. What does this say? If this feature is within reach, it is not. All right. So that is about all I can do. I have no energy left. So we are going to rest. I can't leave because I don't have any progress on it. So ready everything up, get my energy back. Draw a card, which is my boundary sensor. That's nice. And now we draw a path card, which is Fractal Wire. Ugh. Oh, I really did not need 2 obstacles in play. This is very problematic. Again, I've got 5. I can complete lure. I just have to flip and be able to leave Lone Tree Station. Come on, man. Oh, shoot. And I rested a couple of times, so I think this flips back over. I'm pretty sure that flips back over on this rest period. If it was last one, sorry. All right, shoot. All right, first things first, Oru's going to move Riri over to Along the Way. The reason being, Fractal Wire has a blue challenge effect that says add 1 harm to each being within reach, and Riri only has 1 hit point. Next, we're going to spend 1 fitness to get my boundary sensor down. Then we are going to spend 2 and a boundary sensor. I'm going to exhaust my roll to avoid the Fractal Wire, which means the Hanging Garden does fatigue me for 1. To try to finish traversing this. So I'm a 3 versus 2. +1, I succeed, so this goes away. Now we get this challenge effect, so it goes down. We get fatigued again. Ugh. Man. This is problematic. Anyway, that is that. My turn. I'm gonna try this test again. 2 versus 1. -1, I succeed. So I get to do 1 harm, soothe 3 fatigue, which is this. Oh, I might have to do that. I got my vaulting rod. I don't have any fitness for it, but okay. But it is a blue challenge effect, so nothing, 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 nothing. Add 1 harm to each being within reach. And then if there's an active human, there is not. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The reason I'm looking is because I've done the lure. This will be the third time I've reached the prey threshold. Quiet comes out and immediately ambushes me for 3 fatigue. So if I don't have more than 4 cards in my hand, I am going to deck out. So shoot. All right, it is what it is, though. There is nothing I can do, really. No, I don't want to draw cards out of my deck. That's the worst thing I can do. I don't have money to pay for the vaulting rod. And so, yeah. All right, is what it is. So I am going to have to rest. I can't travel. I don't have enough of that. All right, and now, oh, I gotta draw a card. Persuasive. Draw, in fact, it is Agitated Meadowlarks, which not really what I need right now. All right. So I think we're gonna, I don't have any fatigue to soothe, but that does just get rid of the Hanging Gardens, which I think is probably the best thing for me to do. Oh, and this is ready as well. I'm going to spend 2 awareness to try this Hanging Garden test one more time. 2 versus 1, I succeed. All right, I would get to do stuff, but I don't have anything. So red challenge, no, 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 nothing. Okay, but I got to reshuffle. So that clears this. All right, that's out of the way. All right, we're going to take a chance here. We're going to use Oru to pull back Riri into within reach. Riri is then going to attack the agitated Meadowlarks. There's a reason they were agitated, and 1 harm takes them out. I am now going to commit 3 and a boundary sensor. I'm going to exhaust my roll to avoid that. That's about all I can commit to it. So 4 versus 1. 0. Awesome. So I succeed, and I get 4 progress on here. Unfortunately, it is a Blue Mountain effect, so nothing in the missions, nothing here. Add 1 harm to each being within reach. So Oru takes a second, and Riri, sadly, is taken out by the fractal wire. That is gonna be a problem for me. Oh well. All right. So be it. That is all I can do. To a being. Nope. Okay. All right. Nothing there. Not doing anything with that. So we're going to rest. I'm not going to leave yet because I can't because of the obstacle. Draw a card, which is another vaulting rod. All right. I think I'm going to have 1 turn to try to pull this off. All right, so we draw another card. Please, not an obstacle. Frack. It's an obstacle. All right, well, this pretty much means that I'm not getting out of here to be able to do lure again. Shale Scree. And then I forgot to give myself my energy. All right. I have one chance here. I have one chance. So I'm going to spend one to play my vaulting rod. It takes 3 gear slots, so I can only have 5, so I'm keeping my boundary sensor. I'm getting rid of these. Comes in with 2 vaults on it. I'm going to exhaust it and spend a vault to exhaust an obstacle. So I exhaust this. I am now going to spend 1 to put my other copy of Vaulting Rod into play. So it comes in fully charged and ready. I'm going to exhaust and spend a charge to exhaust that obstacle. To my understanding of previous rules, that does work for... you can do that with gear. You can... just put another one in, and it basically is a new copy of it. All right. Now I'm ending my turn, because the last thing I need is for any test to trigger. And I'm choosing, because these are exhausted, I can choose to still travel because I have enough progress on this. So I am going to choose to travel. So I am going from Lone Tree Station. I'm going to try to go to Ancestors Grove over here. So we're going to try that one. So let's see what happens here. All right, I have arrived at Ancestors Grove. A reverent calm suffuses your being as you step into the Ancestors Grove. Each of the trees, from the smallest sapling to the towering giants at the grove center, has been planted over the final resting place of a loved one. You move with care through the grove. You see several people, some keeping to themselves, some speaking softly, some bearing gifts, all here to commune with those who have passed. You pause and give thought to your ancestors. Right, comes in with a presence of 1, has a yellow sun challenge effect to say choose a card from your range or discard, place it to the top of your fatigue stack. Okay, and arrival setup, search the path deck for the next card with a presence of 3 and discard it. Let's see what this is. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. 2, 1, X, 2, 2, none. I do not have any cards with a presence of 3. So that kind of whiffs. And lead ranger, search the path deck for the next prey and put it into play. All right. Prey. Oh, goody. It's a cloud hive. So Cloud Hive is a 1 presence feature. This also prey, lair, and food. A 4 harm threshold, 6 presence threshold. Response: after adding 1 or more harm to this feature, add 1 bee to each Cloud Hive swarm in play. And then Sun Effect: if there are no Cloud Hive swarms in play, search the path deck and discard and deck for the next Cloud Hive swarm. And Blue Challenge, Mountain Challenge: if there is an active mammal, exhaust it and add progress to it and harm to this feature, both equal to the mammal's presence. All right. This discards, so I got to shuffle this up. All right, now we have arrived at a new location while there is 5 or more total presence of prey set aside as part of the lure mission. So, or actually, I suppose we have to... Oh. No, that was the prey, so I still have to... I suppose that's the arrival step, so I suppose I do need to read this. So I need to read 1.42. It took some time to find enough bait and even longer to get close to one of her hunting grounds. She's nowhere to be seen, but you don't have any interest in using yourself as bait. Instead, you release the prey animals and observe from a distance. You wait for hours before you spot movement. You hold your breath as the sleek, shadowy form of the largest bearded lynx you've ever seen slips out of the underbrush. With quiet right before you, you have a choice. You can try to understand and perhaps even befriend the lynx, as Nal would want, or you can try to kill her and ensure the valley's safety, as Cordo wants. Flip the Lure Quiet card over to its confront side, but don't change your mission log. If you don't complete the confrontation today, you have to track her down again. All right. So confront says, you found the mega predator. Now it's time to deal with it once and for all. When the subject of the mission is cleared, resolve the following effects instead, depending on if you clear through harm or progress. And we got some effects. And now it says, put quiet into play within reach of a ranger of your choice. Do not read her entry. Then return all set-aside prey to the collection. All right, well, here's quiet. So, ambush, presence of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I have one turn. One turn to try to do this because my ranger deck is going to... because I'm going to draw here. So, all right. So that was just the travel. Now we go into the refresh phase. So it's ready all these. Draw a card. I have 2 left. Okay, so I have 1 turn after this. So walk with me. Okay. And now we have to draw a path card, which is Quissy Voss. So here I am going into Ancestors Grove, where people are looking to remember their loved ones, and I use this place to decide to lure out the mega predator who has killed before using birds, buck, a Sitka buck, and a deer carcass. While I'm here, I found a cloud hive nest, and oh, this small child also has decided to come out and run up and ask me a bunch of questions. This is just one of those days. From up ahead, you hear a child quietly singing to herself. You move around a large cedar bowl to find a young girl, maybe 8 years old, tracing patterns in the ground with a rock. She's covered in dirt head to toe. In place of her right hand is a miraculous piece of technology, a prosthesis. Gleaming in the sunlight, its fingers suspended in air, held only by her body's memory of the hand. As soon as she notices you, she hops to her feet. Hi, I'm Quizzy. What are you doing? Where are you going? What is that? Can I use it? No, Quizzy, that's quiet. A giant predator. You cannot use it. You cannot have it. Each time you answer a question, she has another one at the ready. It seems like you have a new traveling companion, at least until you can satisfy her curiosity. Clear Quizzy with progress to satisfy her curiosity. All right. All right, so I can get 2 progress on quiet just by that. So I think what I have to do, because I don't want to do tests, anything that could fatigue me because I've only got 1 card. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use Oru to move quiet 2 along the way and put 2 progress on him. I am now going to try to connect. So that is spirit plus connect icons. I'm exhausting my... actually, she's friendly, so she does not fatigue me now. She fatigues me at the end of my turn if I don't deal with her. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got an idea here. All right. So it is I'm going up against a threshold of 3. I need to get 3 progress on it with a -2 in there. I need to get up to 5. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to one of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a reason. There's a reason. Okay, so 5 versus 3. -1. So I succeed with 4 progress. So that is a 6. That clears him. That clears with progress. So then, these all go away. So I get to read 1.43. Please don't have anything else for me to do. Confront quiet. Bloody, wary, but uncowed, you carefully approach the angry bearded lynx. Quiet hisses at you, baring her fangs, but doesn't flinch or snap at you as you reach your hand to her nose. She sniffs cautiously, and then to your surprise and amazement, she leans forward and gives you an affectionate head rub that sends you tumbling over your backside. Quiet starts to purr quietly, and you feel a warmth steal through your soul at the sound, as if you have some sort of deeper connection with her. You're not sure how you know, but you're convinced she won't come after anyone in a nearby village now. She seems a lot more interested in you, so she might keep a wary eye on you from afar, and perhaps help you when you need aid. Complete Lure Quiet mission, permanently remove Quiet from the Valley set, gain the Quiet reward card, and each ranger soothes 2 fatigue. Okay, so out. 2 fatigue, which is bold and eagle eye. Okay. And let's go find that quiet ward card. All right, so this is the reward card. 2 fitness. You need at least 2 fitness to take her, which I do. Cost 2 is a being, companion, and mammal. Has a presence of 2 and a harm threshold of 3. Friendly, persistent, and unique. And it says exhaust. Add 3 harm to a being and 1 harm to quiet, and harm to quiet equal to that being's presence. Okay. The great lynx emerges from the undergrowth, silent as a shadow. She looks at you as if to say, "Today I will not eat you. Tomorrow, however, is another day." All right. That is a pretty cool reward. Okay. Now we got to do challenge effects, though. So confront is now gone as well. All right. So nothing. All right. We do have a blue challenge effect here. If there is an active mammal, there is no longer an active mammal now that Quiet's gone. Uru is a mammal but exhausted. Quizzy is not a mammal. Okay. All right, so that's that. So next, we are going to try to traverse using bold and a boundary sensor. And we are going to exhaust ourselves to dodge the cloud hive. So we are a 5-6 versus 1. -1 with a sun challenge effect. Oof. All right. So we get enough on there, so that is a total of 5. So that's going to be enough to clear it. In the same window, I am going to spend my 1 spirit, which is why I wanted to keep this, to play Walk With Me. So after you succeeded a traverse test, add progress to a being equal to your effort. This is in addition to your test's standard effect. So I'm going to add the progress to Quizzy. which clears Quizzy out. So I read entry 80. After a nonstop barrage of questions, you're a bit surprised when Quizzy suddenly stops talking. You turn, and she's standing on a rock, shielding her eyes as she looks at the sun. I would stay and help you some more, but I can't be late for dinner. See you another time. She hops off the rock and scampers down the path, vanishing from view in an instant. Each ranger soothed to fatigue. All right, so there's my other boundary sensor. All right, so that is that. So now I have to do the yellow challenge effect. So, goes away, one of the rain goes away, then I fatigue 1. So, my day doesn't end, it ends when I have to draw another card. Okay. So this says, choose a card from your ranger discard and place it to the top of your fatigue stack. Okay. I'll put Riri on the top. Right, now the Cloud Hive has one. If there are no Cloud Hive swarms in play, there are not, search the path discard and deck for the next Cloud Hive swarm. Cloud Hive swarm. Alright, so Cloud Hive swarm is a being, insect, and swarm with a presence value of X, comes into play within reach. Starts with 1B, and has a harm threshold of X, a presence value of 7. And at refresh, add 1B to this swarm. And it says you can add a maximum of 1 harm per test to this swarm. And X is equal to the number of bees on the swarm. And then a red crest challenge effect. If X is greater than or equal to your fit aspect, exhaust the swarm and suffer 1 injury. All right. Nice thing is, I don't have any obstacles in play. So, I'm going to choose to rest because travel happens before refresh. I am going to choose, and because I have enough progress here, and these aren't obstacles, I can travel. So I am going to travel. I am currently at Ancestors Grove. And I am going to choose to travel down to Kobo's Market. And I am going to camp. Ha. So I'm going to end the day by camping. And that's before I have to draw during the refresh phase. So I can do this. I get to camp. And this will allow me to actually add in, if I choose, Quiet and or Sill's sketchbook into play. Okay. That was crazy. Thank God I had like 15 cards in my hand to be able to pull all those final tricks out to get rid of Quiet and then Quizzy, and could travel and get the heck out of here. All right, so I'm going to end my day at Kobo's Market. I'm going to end day 6 at Kobo's Market. And let me... update my quiet mission, indicating that I completed it. Perfect. And then I got to add my rewards that I've gotten on here. I've gotten Scylla's sketchbook. And Quiet. All right. And I already did add for my notable events that I witnessed a masterpiece. In fact, I was part of the masterpiece. So that is how I'm going to end day 6. I'm going to be at Kobo's Market tomorrow, and then should be able to pretty easily get over to Spire so I could go talk to the Elder about the crazy things that we saw out on the flooded area. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I didn't make any play mistakes. I'm gonna kick myself if I did. But hopefully I didn't, and you enjoyed it. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you noticed anything I did wrong, please leave a comment and let me know. You know, any chance I get to learn things that I did wrong or things I need to do differently, I take it as a great learning experience, especially with a new game like this that I'm not as familiar with. But otherwise, if you want to see more of this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to go back to Marvel Champions here before too long, kind of bounce back and forth between them, and see what we've got here. So as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and have a great evening, everybody.